Good evening, everybody. My name's Andrew, and welcome to Rip and Flip Breaks. Welcome to break number 007 tonight. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Streaming software just decides to stress me out before a break by deleting the link and the stream, so I have to redo it. But anyway, thanks to those joining in, and thanks to those that have bought into the break for tonight. So Jenny, welcome. She's new to our break, so thank you for joining in tonight and hope you're following along. So tonight we have box of Footy Stars, box of Hobby again, and we'll go through a box or a Blaster box as well. So we'll start with the Footy Stars, go through the Blaster, and then we'll crack the Hobby last to see what we pull. Hopefully we can pull something good again like last time where we got the Platinum Brownlow Predictor of Harley Reid. Very, very pretty looking cards, actually. It was quite really like the platinum. I haven't seen a gold one yet in person, but I really like that platinum one. So that was really good. All right, so let's get missed that cracking on the cards. Obviously, these take a little while to get through the standard packs. We'll just rip through those. Just the good stuff we'll sleeve up and get on display. Everything else I'll move to the side and get out tomorrow on an ADO tomorrow, so I should actually be able to get the cards out tomorrow, which will be good. Anyway, let's get cracking. See what we can get. Obviously, like last time, the Hobby's the one with the better cards in it. Shouldn't say good, but the better cards. Andrew McGrath in the Luminous and the footy heads of Hayden Young. Start making our piles as we go along. Plenty of cards out of these hobby boxes. I've seen them floating around in a few of the post offices as well. And I've been out and about. Stephen Cornelio and a footy heads of Isaac Kako, the young gun from the Bombers. They'll be a bit up and about at the moment, getting their first win of the season, which is good for them. They need it's been a while. What was it, 17 rounds without a win? That's a long time if you're a Bomber supporter. Seth Campbell, and it looks like we have our first Team Mercury, which is Nate Caddy from the Bombers. It is numbered 223 of 425. All right, let's get that one sleeved up. I do like the Mercuries. Bought a few of the Geelong Cats ones for the collection. Started off with the team ones. And see how I go. Actually, I've bought a few. I do like the tie-dye ones too that you will see in the Blaster box too. They're pretty cool. All right, what's next? Well, we got Maxi Holmes in the Luminous and a Angus Sheldrick from the Swannies in the Octane. You know what's a little bit I missed? I didn't realise that the Cats game was on at midday today. I sort of tuned in at three-quarter time and watched a bit of a annihilation of the poor Eagles after that. It sounds like they started pretty well. Tim English and a Josh Rochelle in the acetate card. Anyway, it's good for the Catters and those that go for the Cats. And the Doggies look like they're in a bit of trouble. Good for us next Friday. Tristan Sherry and Maxi Gorn in the Footy Heads. Yeah, we'll can't say I'm displeased with a few of the injuries there for the Doggies. Right, Jasper Fletcher and footy heads of Matthias Philippou from the Saints. I'm not sure how Port Adelaide are going at the moment. Or they about an hour into the game. Got Zach Butters as my captain for Supercoach tonight, so I'm hoping he scores pretty well. I need it to get a win. Chad Warner from the Swannies and Bailey Fritsch, 150 games milestone up. Not numbered like in the Hobby. Thinking I might give next Sunday a skip and then maybe the Sunday after. I'm keen to open a bit more Seamless and maybe some Eminence. Bailey Fritsch and Connor Rozee, 150 games milestone as well. So let me know if you're interested. If you're keen on, I've still got 2 boxes of Seamless. I would like to open at some stage. See what we can pull. Zach Williams from the Blues. and Dion Prestia from the Tigers and the Footy Heads. So I've still got 2 boxes of Eminence left over. I've got a little bit more Footy Stars stuff coming as well. If anyone's interested in that. Jake Stringer and Joy Newcomb from the Hawks in the acetate. I've got 2 2025 hobby boxes as well. Some of those epic blacks and different things that came in those were pretty cool when they came out. So might even break those in the very near future to see if we can pull anything from last season. Brady Hoff and Paddy Cripps from Carlton. Hoping the light's a little bit better tonight. I removed my camera so we don't get as much glare on the cards when they're hopefully on the stand. Tim Taranto from the Tigers and Jack Gunston in the, what do they call them? The rewinds. For the Hawkers there. Put that one up the top. Alrighty. Lots of packs in the old Footy Stars. We've got 36 in total to get through. Jeremy Cameron from the Catters in the Luminous. Footy Heads, Tommy Green. They're keeping us waiting before we hit our next reasonably decent card in these. So it's the one good thing with the hobbies, you know, you're going to get something pretty good in just about every pack, something numbered. Matthew Kennedy, and we have Nate Caddy again, but in the acetate. Okay, finishing this side first, Andrew. Darcy Wilson from the Saints in the Luminous and Braden Maynard in the acetate. Levi Ashcroft and milestone games of Jake Lloyd, 250 games. Good milestone there for the Swannies. I did see Corey got a pretty nice platinum card the other week, which was pretty good, mate. That was a really good. I don't know if you pulled it or you got it in a break, but either way, it was pretty good. All right, Shea Bolton and Footy Heads Ollie Dempsey. Been a little bit quiet this year, Ollie Dempsey. Not quite his normal flamboyant self as much as he was, but in saying that, as long as it's there at the end of the year, that's the main thing. We got Noah Anderson in the Luminous, Luke McDonald in the acetate. It's a fair bit of rain around. I watched the game on Thursday night. That third quarter is bucketing down. Fair bit of rain there in Adelaide. Seems like that gather round works pretty well. Need to get over there at some stage. Nick Blakey and a octane of Hudson O'Keefe from the Blues. It's not that far away, but anyway, something to maybe think about 1 year heading over. We went up to Sydney last year to watch the Geelong play the Swannies. Try and do an interstate game again this year, but not sure which one yet. Not that easy with fuel prices and things to get around as much as it was last year. Matthew Owies, Josh Worrell in the Footy Heads from the Crows. All right, trying to crack through these as quickly as I can. All right, Riley Sanders from the Doggies and 200 games for Alex Neil-Bullen from the Crows. There's some good games on the weekend, that's for sure. Enjoy watching a bit of the footy, even not probably less stress than watching Geelong, that's for sure. I sometimes enjoy watching other teams more. Connor Iden and Patrick Voss, the big fella from Freo, as his pre-warm-up marks that he does off the wall, or pre-training. I'm not sure what it was. I saw it in the pre-game. Nick Larkey and Bradley Hill in the retro. What do they call it? The retro. I've forgotten what it's called already. The Rewind. Too many names for these cards. They should call them classics. They all should call them the same. Anyway, too much for my brain to remember it. 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. I hope everyone enjoyed their shorter weekend after their long weekend. Nate Keddy from the Bombers, Joel Frazier from the Blues and the Footy Heads. It was nice to have a 4-day weekend for those that had one last weekend. Quite enjoyable. Always hard to go back to work. Darcy Moore and Jacob Van Rooyen from the D's in the Octane. Ooh, quite a few of the Jacob Van Rooyen cards. Got a couple of Booms, a few others from him. It seems to be the player I pull a lot. Be nice if it was a Dacos. Colby McKercher and an Ed Richards. All right, getting towards the end of these first Footy Stars packs, everybody. Getting close. Ben Keys and Stephen Cornelio in the Rewind. I remembered what it was called that time. Good job, Andrew. Hey, mate. How you doing? Like your little icon there, the Premiership Cup. Nasiah Wanganeen Miller in the Luminous and Ruben Ginby in the Footy Heads. And, oh, how's this? Brownlow Predictor comes out of nowhere for Maxi Holmes from the Geelong Cats and Sarah. I tell you what, Sarah, you do really well in my breaks, that's for sure. Number 26 of 220. That is very, very nice there, Sarah. Good hit there. Hope you haven't already got him in the gold there. All right, let's leave that one up and put him away. That's a good hit. Remember what our big hit was in this box last week? God, I swear these cards are some of the hardest to open. I reckon I don't mind pulling the old Marvel Upper Deck stuff. Super easy to open. Jake Waterman and the Octane of Harry Perriman from the Pies. Actually, Holmes is having a good season too, so you never know. I'll tell you what, him and Baz be taking votes off each other though. Baz had a pretty damn good day today. He's had a pretty good start to the season other than the Gold Coast game. Danny Curtin and milestone games of Hunter Clark. He's racking up the stats, although last week he had some pretty good stats, but he, what was it? I read 11 turnovers, which he did a little bit of that last year, but I don't know. If he's getting 11 turnovers but 25 insides, I'll take that every day. Jake Lever and Will Ashcroft from the Lions. Tongue-tied there. Well, best hit so far this year in 2026. Ooh, good question. Let me think on that one. I did have probably my best hit that I got. I don't know if it was this year or not. No, it was last year. It was the Brilliance. I pulled the 01 Doggies Triple Premiership SIG. Ben King here, which is probably my best ever hit, and that was last year. This year, probably the Platinum Murphy Reed. In the DPS, the Platinum DPS SIG. That was pretty good card, and I've pulled a few Dacos. I've pulled the Dacos Eminence, the Dacos Classic, or the 94 Gold as well. They're all pretty good cards. Tuke Miller and a boom of Jake Saligo from the Crows, numbered 473 of 510. And a few good cards. I can't remember them off the top of my head. It depends what you call good, but no, definitely some of those Dacos. I think my very first box of Eminent that I opened, I think it's on my channel somewhere. I got a Laylaw, a DPS Gold, and the Dacos Oh, the day costs. Oh, Eminence in it. It was pretty amazing. Zach Butters, Logan Morris. Last pack. Not expecting anything from this one, seeing what we've already pulled. But, hey, sometimes the odds aren't quite right. So, maybe a little bit of last pack magic. Jarman Impey and Xavier Lindsay. All right. Good stuff. Oh, no, let's do the Blaster first. Let's keep the good one till the end. I don't know if anyone else has seen these tie-dye cards or collecting them. I've got a few of the Cats ones. They're not numbered, but they look really cool. I really like the design of them compared to some of the stuff that we've seen in the past, that's for sure. Let's crack these packs out and get in. And I've seen some people pull some good stuff out of the Blasters, so you just never know. And we'll keep those to last. All right, let's go. Seen some people, like some of the starter packs too have been pretty good for some people. Bit hit and miss, but it's always a little bit of a gamble, bit of luck. Joshua Shelley, Scott Pendlebury, and the Footy Heads. Plenty of Footy Heads tonight. Christian Salem and Jai Caldwell. And, oh, here we go. Another Brownlow predicted. Like I said, you just never know what you're going to get. So, Zach Butters from Port Adelaide, 169 of 220. That's 2 gold predictors so far. You never know. We may get a platinum again in the hobby box. For sure. We might get... I haven't seen it. I haven't pulled one yet. I can't remember what they're called. They look kind of like the Eminence cards that came out. Oh, good. I think 8 packs in the Blaster, plus the one that has the 2 tie-dye cards in it. Willem Drew and Tim Taranto in the limited edition. I'll have a look at the box in a sec for you. Hang on. I'm curious myself now. 10 packs. 10 packs in the Blaster box there, mate. Not too bad bang for your buck, especially if you like those tie-dye cards, which I know some people are chasing, and I think there's the different versions of the acetates in the single or the starter packs, which don't look too bad. They're all that pink version. Elijah Hewitt, Errol Goulden. Zach Butters will have another bad season. I think it was Butters injured. Actually, I might be thinking of Rosie. Paddy Cripps and Isaac Heaney. What a rip snorter of a game he had the other night. That was insane. Started the season a little bit slow, but the Swannies are up and about this year. Ryan Marich and Jarman Impey, milestone 200 gamer. That's about the 5th or the 6th 200 gamer we've had there. All right. Cooper Sharman, 150 games of Benny Keys from the Crows. There we go. It's definitely a milestone game night, that's for sure. Paul Curtis and Nathan Broad from the Tigers. 1 pack, and then our Mercury tie-dye pack, which they can be a little bit difficult to open, those ones, so I may need to use the knife to open it. Jordan Clark from Freo and Andrew Brayshaw from Freo. Alright, let's see if we can get in the tie-dye. I'll give him a whirl. Open it just because there's not many cards now. I get worried I'm gonna damage the cards. Well, I think that's kind of trying to open it without everyone being able to see what we've got. So, first one is Dion Prestia from the Tigers. She's a nice looking card. I haven't seen one in person yet, but the cover's pretty cool. I really like it. We'll see what our second one is. He is Bailey Humphrey from the Gold Coast Suns. Too easy, so I think Jenny, you picked up the Tigers there, so obviously it's a D on Prestia for you. Very nice. All right, I'll take a quick drink. Hang on. Sunday whiskies are always good. All right, let's get cracking into the good stuff. The hobby box. 18 packs per box, 9 cards per pack, the same. Base cards are like a parallel version though. They are metallic rather than normal. And we definitely will get a lot more hits in this. They seem to be pretty consistent with the type of hit you get. It's just whether you end up with what type of big hit you end up with. So we shall see. All right. Good luck, everybody. Let's see what we can get out of the hobbies. All right, where we've got the Luminous Jake Bowie. I'm going to pull that previously. And a gold of Harry O'Farrell, numbered 176 of 315. Gold Octane. I think we had quite a few of those last time. I'm assuming you do get a few of those as you go. All right. Luminous Hayden Young, 657 of 850. And Daniel Rioli in the green parallel, 31 of 60 there. No one's picked up the Gold Coast tonight. I think last time we picked up a Paddy Dangerfield in the green, which Sarah picked up, and I've recently also added to their collection as well. I do actually like them. Some of these cards look a lot better in person than when you actually grab them as they are. Like you can see them on camera. Darcy Byrne-Jones and Vossi again. 88 of 145 in the etched. Very nice. I like the etched again. They're another one of those designs that you can't kind of see until you see it in person, but I think we ended up with 3 of these. It's about the average that you get with these. So we'll probably get 3. I know, I think I was saying before, my best cards probably this year is probably the Murphy Reed Platinum. So Tim Kelly, 339 of 850, and the next gen of Jetty Walter, 67 of 99. I might need to go back and check those jumper numbers on some of those other ones. Forgot that they're actually numbered. Yeah, probably the Murphy Reed, maybe Dacos Eminent, although that may have actually been last year. We had a couple of good seamless cards too. All right, so Maba Cole, 230 of 850, and we have a Cam Zerha from North Melbourne, 35 of 85 in the Mercury. Not too bad, the silver. I don't know, I think I like the coloured ones better. Definitely like the tie-dye ones. They definitely look really cool. Keep cranking through these, waiting for that really big one. All right, Levi Ashcroft from Brisbane, 558 of 850. And we have a Murphy Reed from the Fremantle Dockers, talking about him earlier, number 36 of 140. Very nice card. Murphy Reed has had a great season so far, and the Dockers are loving his style for a second year play. He's been really good. Booms are some of my favourite cards too. Love them. Sean Manor from the Cats, numbered 691 of 850, nice and high there. And here we go, Tim Taranto from the Tigers in the Platinum, numbered 4 of 60. That's another low one. I think we had number 2 of Harley Reid last week, so that's another low one. So there you go, Jenny, a nice card there, Brownlow Predictor. And Tuke Miller, 251 of 315. Very nice. Let's get that one in a sleeve and a top loader. Yeah, really, I don't know if anyone's had one of these in their hands, but they're a really nice looking card, the Platinum. But the others are nice, but Platinum looks really cool. All right, so it looks like that's probably our biggest hit, maybe. Let's see. Just never know. All right, Callum Mills from the Swannies, 155 of 850, and Errol Gouldem from the Swannies, 286 of 315. A few of those double up of the same players in the same team, the same pack. All right, we got Lucas Camporeale, 768 of 850, and a Jordan De Goey, numbered 61 of 145 in the etched. Another one there for you, Jenny. You're doing not too bad in this break so far. Right. What else can we pull? Big Nank from the Tigers, 648 of 850, and it looks like a milestone game. Tim English, 150, numbered 25 of 250. Not a bad number there. Don't actually know Big Tim English's number. If anyone else does, I don't know if he's number 25 or not. If he is, then that's really good. He pulled the doggies. Not the best with nut jumping numbers, unfortunately. Kyle Langford, 135 of 850, and young Ollie Dempsey in the gold octane, number 12 of 315. All right, getting there, almost done for your Sunday night. For you to get through. Joel Freesia, and 473 of 850, and a Canelio from GWS, 128 of 145. That'd be our 3 of those. So I think we still got another. These just don't want to go in there very nice and neatly. Still got a bit of light glare up there at the top. Alright, steel side bottom in the luminous, 817 of 850, and Ed Langdon, 200 games, 26 of 250 there. See, more games than I thought he'd played, actually, to be honest. He's just been racking them up there at the D's. Alright. Last 5 packs, including this one. LDU from North Melbourne, number 217 of 850, and a royalty of LDU again. Yeah, I've told you this happened a few times tonight with these packs. Quite like the royalties. 65 of 99 there from the Roos. I think I say that about a lot of cards that I like them, but there are definitely some I like more than others, that's for sure. I think some of the team colours lend themselves better as well. Something about North Melbourne cards, whether it's the blue and white like the Cats, I don't know, but... Alright, Josh Worrell from the Crows, 515 of 850. And another milestone game of Bobby Hill this time, 127 of 250. It's definitely a milestone game night tonight. And Brownlow predictors as well. I mean, 3, 1 out of each box so far. Might just double those up there. Run out of room. Alrighty. Oh, Octane again by the looks of it. Jakey Stringer, 326 of 850, and Big Luke Jackson, 221 of 315. The big ruckman from mid ruck, if you want to call him. Last 2 packs. Good luck, everyone. Oh, we definitely got our second boom for sure. Matty Rao, 336 of 850 in a luminous, and Big Paddy Cripps from Carlton there, 140 of 140. Very nice. That is the Omega there. Don't mind the Omega. 140 of 140. So very nice hit there for you, Brooke and Corey. It's a very nice one. Not quite an 0-1, but depends on which end of the scale you like. Last pack. What will we pull? Looks like it's an Octane, unfortunately. 843 of 850, and Bobby Hill again. And 103 of 315. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Appreciate the time, the buy-in, and supporting Rip and Flip and the business. I'll continue to keep doing these for a while and keep seeing how we're going. Please share. If you share and with a friend and that friend buys in, I'll give you $10 credit towards your next break. So let's keep getting on. I might skip next weekend, have a bit of a break, and then look at cracking some seamless and some eminent. So again, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.